Welcome to the Coaches Show. I'm here with head coach and athletic director of Dublin High School, Roger Holmes. Coach, coming off a 69-0 victory over Central-Macon, came into the Shamrock Bowl last week. Tale of two different teams, I think, and we kind of knew this. Central has had a rough time this year, got off to a bad start and kind of spiraled downward. And when a team like that comes into the Shamrock Bowl here at the end of the year, your team often can play down to that level of that team. And I think it's a credit to our Dublin football team that they actually rose above that. It's a different football team, I think, that you've got this year. They came to play. They did business. You wanted to get some of the JV guys and ninth graders to in that ball game early. I believe everybody but Mikey Pattisall got in the game, and I believe he was probably pulling on your shirt tail.
Well, Mikey is one of our senior managers.
Right.
Actually, he got to represent our football team as a captain going to midfield the other night. And I think that meant a whole lot to our seniors, because he's as valuable and much as our football team as anybody. We did try to challenge our young men to play at their level, go out, try to establish the tempo and some dominance in the line of scrimmage early in the game, and we were able to do that. We had a big block punt,
right,
which was a huge part in the kicking game. We had a long kickoff return. I think we stepped out on about the 10 or 12 yard line. So we did some good things in the kicking game, did some good things offensively.
We limited, I noticed in the stat sheet, and I'm not going to go through that, there were so many of them. You did limit the number of carries. I think Willie Batts maybe had one carry for 50-something yards, and 5 carries was the most any of your backs had. I noticed 12 kids touched the football that night in the backfield.
Well, we were scoring quick,
Right.
and some of those kind of things, but it was our thought process is we wanted to get through that game and be healthy with the big game, obviously, that's coming up this week with Dodge County. We'll talk about later, but we wanted to, do what we could to limit the number of carries. Mike O'Neill didn't get too many carries. He aggravated me a little bit on punt returns. He's trying to score when he can get his hands on the dadgum football, and all we really wanted out of him was fair catch and let's move on. But
something he doesn't like to do.
We got out of it healthy, and I think that's really huge leading up to a monumental type game for Dublin this week, going over to play Dodge County. So if you want to, I'm sure B-Wall has a lot of highlights for us
Right.
from the other night's game. Let's get on them and get people a chance to see some of these highlights.
Right. Okay, we'll take a break and have some, we'll come back with some more Dublin football.
It's football season, and just like your favorite team, Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan's success is built on our teamwork.
Ms. Johnson, I have got you scheduled for service at Dublin Chevrolet.
Hey Dave, I think I found the problem.
I might not have been a great ball player back in the day, but one thing about it, Don sells cars pretty good here at Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. If you've delayed your care, we want to reassure you we're prepared for you. Optum's commitment to safe, high-quality care is stronger than ever.
It is almost hunting season, and that means it's time for you to already be shopping with Roach Farm and Garden. Everything you need for your feed plots, everything you need for your deer stands, everything you need, period, for the fall, you can get at Roach Farm and Garden. Salt licks, camo, trail cams, everything you need. Go check them out at Roach Farm and Garden at the River Bridge. Support your friends at Roach Farm and Garden as they support the Dublin Fighting Irish and our local community. Go Irish, and go to Roach Farm and Garden.
When you're part of a team, your loyalty is to each other, working together for the customer. Customer satisfaction is not a sometime thing, it's an all-time thing.
Turn it up, let's go, yes, sir.
You don't service vehicles right once in a while, you service them right all the time. So let's get out there and get these customers rolling. We love helping our customers as much as we love football. So let us be your team, Bubba's Tire Center.
Woo!
All right, Coach, and we're back here. We're going to go ahead and look through some highlights that B-Wall's pulled up here of the Central game from Friday night.
Let's see what we got. I think looks like the first one here is going to be a run by Willie Batts. And, yeah, put a little double handoff. You know the thing I love about this, watch that quarterback come out here and lead block for him. It's pretty neat. Micah getting a big block right there that kind of springs him.
Squared his shoulders up well.
Yep, Willie makes a nice cut and gets in the end zone. Like you said, I think that might have been his only carry of the night.
It was.
Here's a defensive clip. This is our first series on the night defensively.
Central was a really big quarterback there. He could throw the ball 60 yards in the air.
He was a really talented young man. They mishandled the snap right there. We get some pressure and get a big sack out of, I think, Brandon Chapman was the guy that got this sack. We'll take a look at it from this end. I think him and 27 Quantavious Lovett might have shared with each other on that sack. Looks like Mando, 74, and on the sack. We blocked the punt and recovered the ball right here. Now it's 1st and goal, like on the 9-yard line. Trav Bostic makes a guy miss, gets in the end zone.
Leading rusher from Friday night's game, Trav Bostic. I was really pleased to see that.
Yeah, he was a little banged up in our last game and got feeling a little bit better this past week. He's been a big play guy for us, and don't need him to be that way again. Pretty good coverage. Got a pass interception right here. We did a good job of sitting underneath all of the underneath routes. Quarterback overthrows it a little bit, and our safety on the back end, Sears Tobridge, take that back. It looks like DJ Woodard again coming up with that pick.
May have been his 3rd of the year.
Now Azante Walker hitting the trap up inside, making a guy miss there, then downfield making another guy miss. Azante with a heck of a run. You'll see here he makes a nice cut. Not a lot of space in there, but he just makes a really good cut, makes the first guy miss. He makes a move on the second linebacker, and then he does a good job with his open field running. Brandon Chapman here making a nice play for us at defensive end. Expands the field, runs the quarterback down, and that's a nice play because their quarterback has good speed.
They kept him out there on the perimeter there, yeah, awesome job.
You got, this is a 3rd and long, I think. Yep, 3rd and about 15, and we run a draw. Zay Bostic again doing his thing, getting out, making somebody miss in open field. So really good job with him.
Limited carries. I think he had 3 touchdowns Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get his hands on the ball very often. Right there is a good athletic ability making that player miss. This is Zay again. Now you flip over to the defensive side. He's going to end up having a nice sack. I think we got some pressure coming with him right there. He hits a nice little delayed blitz and hits them for about a 15, 20-yard loss. Trav Bostic now, Zay's younger brother. He's fixing to get loose and have a long run for us. And when he hit the corner and accelerated, he was gone. didn't look like he looked kind of like he had tired legs there. That's not the typical Trav speed that you normally see with him.
75 yards there.
Got a nice play right here on the defensive side of the football. You know, I think the score the other night was 35-0 at the end of the first quarter and like 57-0 at halftime. And then our JV kids finished up the night. This is a drive with our backups in, some backups, not all of them. Jeff Davis came in at quarterback, drove us down the field, had a nice completion, got us in the end zone, and that was huge. This is
one thing I've noticed when Davis comes into the game, he really, really keeps his composure. He's been back up to Micah. He does an awesome job in practice. He's really got a cool head and he keeps his composure. He'll be a good leader in the future.
I certainly hope so. This is Jordan Tobridge getting in the end zone, our backup fullback, just running the belly play. Here's Jeff getting his second series with mostly ones, some twos. He hits a nice completion right here to Sears Tobridge and makes a guy miss in open field. Gets down, down the sideline and turns a 5-yard pass into about a 12 or 13-yard gain. Actually, we got stopped on a 4th down play right there. That was aggravating that we weren't able to finish that drive and get points.
Good play on the end there.
Yeah, it's these guys. We've got mostly all backup linebackers in. Looks like both defensive ends are backup. So we've got the JV defensive kids on the field right now, or backups, not necessarily true JV.
Against their ones.
Yeah, that's number 15 for us right there is a senior, Terrell Williams. At linebacker, he does a good job forcing the thing outside of the corner, and 17, a sophomore, and 15 backups do a really good job there making that play.
These kids have worked really hard against your number ones in practice.
Every day. They come to practice, and that's one of the things that you love about this football team. They came close to getting a safety right there. They were frustrated. They thought they tackled him in the end zone, but it looks like his forward progress might not have been where they spotted the ball, but he gets, to the 1. Now, they end up spotting it on the 3, I think. But here's Jeff. Now, it's Micah in the game. We were trying to work our 2-minute offense. So we went back with the 1s. It's just one of those game situations. It wasn't that we needed the points. It's that we needed to practice your 2-minute drill.
Trying to get Tukey out here.
And we hit the quick hit screen to Tukey. He's down to the 2. Come back, and Zay Bostic gets another touch and another touchdown.
You would have backup line in, right?
No, this is the starting offense because, like we said, we were trying to work our 2-minute offense.
Okay.
And then actually we get a stop and get it back with 30, 40 seconds to go or something like that in the half, and go with a play action pass. And there's Sears Tobridge making another big catch, and that sent us into halftime.
Beautiful throw and catch there to
Tobridge. You got to make some of those plays. Here's freshman linebacker, Mike linebacker Will Harris making a nice tackle for us. Good to see a freshman in there. Well, it said number 9 on the tackle. Well, maybe he comes back and gets in on it. Running inside out, making a play.
A lot of yellow hats to the ball.
Nice run right here by Brandon Mitchell, sophomore running back, playing wing back for us. Does a good job, gets the edge on the speed sweep and turns it into a nice game. Our JV kids are undefeated this year, and they go to Waco on Thursday of this week for their last regular season game. Dontavius Cannon at fullback, running the trap up inside. He's a sophomore running back with a big run. Practices so hard, very physical.
Really a kid to look at for the future.
I think he's got a chance to really be a good football player wearing that green and gold, and shows you a lot of balance right there and just desire. Rylan Yates is in the game right now with our JV offense. He made the record books the other night. He got his first completion as on a varsity game on a Friday night. Ty Salter, sophomore running back, getting outside on the speed sweep. And then 47, Brandon Mitchell again, getting the edge on the speed sweep.
I believe he scored a touchdown, right?
Mitchell, yes, he just scored a touchdown on that play.
I didn't pick up his number, but I noticed on the stat sheet we had him for a touchdown.
Yeah, 47. Had a big night for us. Did some really, really, really good things.
Really good pressure.
Wished he'd have hung on to that and made that play right there, but there's 17 coming across the field, making a big hit for us. See if we got one more clip right here, just for old time's sake. This is number 8, Rylan Yates getting his first completion of his high school career. I know it would sure make his granddaddy proud to have been sitting in the stands seeing that. But
absolutely, Yates.
Heck of a night. Good win for the Irish, and now it's on the road to Dodge County, and we can talk about them when we come back from the break.
Coach, we'll take a break. We'll be back with some more Dublin Fighting Irish football.
It's football season, and just like your favorite team, Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan's success is built on our teamwork.
Ms. Johnson, I have got you scheduled for service at Dublin Chevrolet.
Hey, Dave, I think I found the problem.
I might not have been a great ball player back in the day, but one thing about it, Don sells cars pretty good here at Dublin Chevy GMC Nissan.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. If you've delayed your care, we want to reassure you we're prepared for you. Optum's commitment to safe, high-quality care is stronger than ever.
It is almost hunting season, and that means it's time for you to already be shopping with Roach Farm and Garden. Everything you need for your feed plots, everything you need for your deer stands, everything you need, period, for the fall, you can get at Roach Farm and Garden. Salt licks, camo, trail cams, everything you need. Go check them out at Roach Farm and Garden at the River Bridge. Support your friends at Roach Farm and Garden as they support the Dublin Fighting Irish and our local community. Go Irish, and go to Roach Farm and Garden.
When you're part of a team, your loyalty is to each other, working together for the customer. Customer satisfaction is not a sometime thing, it's an all-time thing.
Turn it up, let's go! Yes, sir!
You don't service vehicles right once in a while, you service them right all the time. So let's get out there and get these customers rolling. We love helping our customers as much as we love football. So let us be your team, Bubba's Tire Center.
Woo! We're back. Coach, we're going to go ahead and wrap up a region schedule this week, I believe, with a big road game over in Eastman, Georgia, going over and play the Dodge County Indians. I think they've got one loss on their record. This past week they played a pretty tough team up in at Northeast Macon this week, who we both know they Northeast will come to play. They're going to hit you in the mouth. Dodge County with a pretty tough defense themselves. I'm sure that we've looked at film on them this week, and a lot of the kids probably know each other. You know, it's kind of a bordering county, but might as well call it a border war. It's like that since I was in high school. they've got some outstanding athletes over there.
They sure do. You know, I think obviously everyone around here knows about number 15, Duke Johnson. He's an Alabama commit, and you don't just get offers from Alabama unless you're special. And he's kind of the guy that makes everything work for them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They'll play him some at tailback. They'll play him some at wide receiver. They'll play him some at wildcat quarterback. He's the guy that they're going to go to when it's money time. And obviously, that's who anybody want to go to.
It's a money game.
And so we're expecting him to get 20, 25 touches at least in this football game. And, you know, we've got to do a great job of limiting those and make sure that we're running to the football. And you better wrap up, because that big rascal, you know, we got to see them live in the Vidalia game. And anytime they needed 3 or 4 yards and it was money time, they put the ball in Duke's hands and he converted.
Kind of reminds me of back a couple of years ago. This kid, we went up and played Lamar County at an away game, and they had a kid by the name of C.J. Allen that plays up at the University of Georgia now. The kid kind of is that big, he runs like him, and kind of having to tackle that kind of kid again is what kind of way I've been thinking.
Well, I think that's probably a good comparison. You know, obviously Woodford that is at Northeast is a really good back, but I think Duke has more speed and will drop his shoulder and try to run through you a little bit more than Woodford would at Northeast. You know, their offensive line has been very steady for them all year. It's a good-looking group of guys up there. They're fairly young. They're like us. We start 2 sophomores in the offensive line, and they've got a couple of youngins that are in that offensive line group for them. But they
good pass pro.
And they do a great job of running the power and the counter. I know that stands out to me. I think it's number 57, the right guard. He's a pulling machine. I'd love to have him in the wing T offense, because that big rascal gets out and runs. Their quarterback throws a nice football. He's got a real strong arm. They're like us. They want to run the football and throw it when they choose to. They're not going to just line up and throw it so they can say they're 50-50 run pass. They throw it when they need to. They've got number 10's a good wide receiver for them. 6 is a good wide receiver for them. They don't mind trying to get it deep. Number 12 for them is their explosive back, I think.
He can really go.
He's a kick returner.
Ran one back for a touchdown last week against Northeast, I believe.
They like for him to get the ball on the jet sweeps and get it out on the perimeter. He's a threat. Number 7 for them is definitely a threat. He left the game the other night. I don't know exactly what happened. It was, in the first half he was playing tailback and he didn't come back in the game. So, a big rivalry game like that, you expect them to be in uniform and ready to play.
New coach
for us on
Friday night. New coach over there this year, I believe.
Yeah, coach has come in and took a program that really struggled last year, and he's molded that group of kids together, got them playing team football. And, his background is really strong. He came out of Louisiana, Mississippi, somewhere. But he'd been a part of some state championship programs over there as an assistant. He was at Thomasville back when we played them in 19. He coached their outside linebackers for them there. So, obviously, we've tried to go back and look at that film to see what exactly they were trying to do to us down there. And that was good to be able to go back and see that film and make sure that we're prepared for what we saw down there on that night.
He's come in and really got the Dodge County Eastman community really revived about football over there.
Well, he's a good fit, obviously, in Dodge County. He's got them playing exactly the way he wants them to play. He actually took that job. He was the special teams coordinator at Valdosta High School, and you can see that he's got a strong background in special teams because the things that they're doing, You know, like the other night against Northeast, they opened the game with a surprise onside kick.
They did.
They're lobbing some balls on kickoff stuff, trying to eliminate returns. They come after you and pressure you really hard on punt game. You know, so you can tell there's a big emphasis they put on that. And then when you go over to the defensive side of the football, I think you see 11 guys that run to the football, and they're very physical. They don't have a lot of big bodies except for one.
Right.
The guy they play on the nose is about 6'4", 370. He'll
stick out.
He is one big dude, okay,
Yeah.
that eats up a whole lot of space on the interior. There are two defensive ends in that 3-5. They're not what you would look at and say these are D linemen. One wears number 6 or number 8, I think. One wears 34.
But they move.
They're quick. They're real quick down inside and
good linebacking core.
I know there's a young man that plays for them, number 20. Is a really solid linebacker. I know Barry Brown that used to coach here had mentioned that was a young man that was on their radar.
Wow.
Where he's coaching, and then obviously you got Duke in there playing linebacker, and then their perimeter people seem to run around pretty good. So there's a reason that they're 8-1.
Right.
There's a reason why they win close games, because they don't make many mistakes. We've got to play our hearts out. There's a region championship on the line.
We got to get people from Dublin, Georgia to go to Eastman Friday
Well,
night.
I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, it's going to be a heck of
That's
a football
what we need
game.
to do.
A region championship for us is
on the line.
You know, I think we have a grand total of a 2-point variation. If we lose by 2 points at Dodge County, we'll drop from a number 1 down to a number 3. We talked about it at the Booster Club meeting. When I went back and read this morning, the information I gave y'all wasn't correct, because if there's a 3-way tie, which we beat Northeast beat Dodge, and if Dodge beats us, it's a 3-way tie. The plus-minus thing is 19 points. So, and then it goes in. I thought the team that was the lowest was out.
Dropped out.
Then it went head to head.
Don't.
The way it actually is written up in the bylaws for this year, the team that has the highest total, okay, is 1. Then it goes head to head for 2 and 3. And right now, Dublin is at plus 10. Northeast is finished. They're at plus 9. Dodge County is at minus 19. But if Dodge beat us by at least 2 points, okay, then we would go down to plus 8. Northeast would be the number one team at plus 9. Then it goes head to head. So we could drop all the way to a 3. So there's a lot riding on the football game, and we need all the support there we can get.
Right. We're going to, right now, you know, we need to win, take care of business. It's what our young men need to go over there to Eastman, Georgia and do Friday night. What we want to do now is encourage everybody in the community to take that 30-minute drive over to Eastman, Georgia, watch a great football game. And Coach, what we'll do is we'll come back next week with some highlights.
Yeah, I do want to mention to our fans one thing that they may not be aware of. I don't remember if it was that way the last time we went to Dodge, but they have swapped the home side and the visitor side in that stadium. They built new bleachers over where the Dublin fans always sit. They're real high and real tall. Now Dublin is actually on the side of the field where the press box is. So if our fans are going in, make sure you're going in the gates on that side.
Right. Coach, all right, we'll wrap things up and we'll come back with some highlights of Dodge County game next week.